Hello, it's Matthew here from Matthew North Music, and it's a really lovely day today. And I just got the doors open into the garden. Funnily enough, when I bought my flat, this kind of door kind of reminded me a bit of Pink Floyd's Ummagumma album, and that was kind of one of the things that sold it to me when I moved here. And yeah, it's great. I love it. I love being here. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about something that's going to be ongoing for the next couple of months, and that is I am making a new album. Now, this album is going to come out hopefully on my birthday, which is in September, and it's not going to be a standard Matthew North record because none of the songs on it I have composed. They are all going to be compositions by Mike Westbrook. Now, I've been thinking about doing this ever since lockdown. If you remember back in 2020, when everybody was kind of sat at home trying to think of things to do, well, I had some things to do and I never got round to it. But then one of the things I did do was sort out my electronic components, and that led us to where we are today with this YouTube channel. But one of the videos I made, which I'll put a link to in this video, is I did a Mike Westbrook riff. And I sent it to Mike and he really liked it. And it ended up that because I'd done that, he put what I did into the piece that it came from when we played it at Ronnie Scott's, when we played it at the Cheltenham Jazz Festival. So that was kind of, really cool. And then it got me thinking that in the catalogue of the Westbrook music, there are so many great riffs, and they really do scream out for kind of being reinterpreted, I suppose, in a kind of more of a rock setting, really. And I kind of thought, well, yeah, this would be an interesting thing to do. And so I've been thinking about it for a while, probably for about 6-8 months. And Chris Biscoe, who's also in the Westbrook band, he's just made an album of Westbrook music, but he's done it with his band, and it's very much kind of, a lot of it's kind of not quite written to the page, but it kind of is. It's it's like the proper arrangements, and Chris is an absolutely fantastic player, and it's a really great sounding record. If you haven't got it, then look up the new Chris Biscoe album because it is really great. But for me, I'm not that level player. I'm a rock musician, and I happen to be playing for the greatest jazz composer that has ever been in England. And so that's got me in this strange position anyway, because I'm taking high art, if you like, and I'm kind of doing it my own way. Now, my original idea was that I was going to put together a band, and then we'd rehearse this stuff and then we'd record it. And that kind of hasn't gone to plan, because all the musicians I kind of wanted to use, they're all busy, they're all gigging, they're all doing their own thing. And then I kind of thought, well, maybe I could just get some of the people in the Westbrook band to do it. But then I kind of thought that's like a massive cop-out, because if you're going to make an album of Mike Westbrook songs with members of the band, then, well, why doesn't Mike just do it if he wanted to, because it's his band? And also, I look back to some of those albums that came out in the 70s by John Sermon, and he made a couple of records where most of the lineup was the Westbrook band without Mike, and I just kind of thought that was just a bit weird, really. And so how I'm going to do this, and I literally had this brainwave about 3 days ago, is I'm going to make the album as I would make any other album that I do, where I play everything, and then if I want to have other people play on it, then I add their parts to it and take mine off. And that's kind of how I've done pretty much everything in the last few years. The Frozen in Time single, I did do all of that myself, but there's another track I've done that I'm going to have a really brilliant singer on. And I got Emily Dolan Davis to play drums on that. And then there's a couple of other things I've done where I've had, different people come and play on it. But thinking that I could then take these Westbrook pieces or elements of the pieces, because they're not going to be a straight cover. You know, some bits will be more or less the whole arrangement as per the record, kind of. And there'll be other bits where I just take little fragments and I embellish them. So it's very much variations on a theme of compositions by Mike Westbrook. But I'm going to record it all myself and then add the extra bits afterwards. And because I think that's the only way I can see me actually getting this record made. And also it means musically and stylistically, it's very much kind of me, really. It's like the honest way of doing it. I mean, I got a friend who made an EP once, and the finished EP was absolutely brilliant. It was really, really good. But when I used to see him play solo live, I thought, this does not sound like the same person at all. And it turned out what he'd done is he got some mates together, gave them his songs, and they basically recorded it. And I think he did a little bit of rhythm guitar, and that was it. But, you know, really, it was a totally different band. So I kind of don't want to do that either. So what I've done is I've made a track listing of all the songs I'm going to record. And yesterday was the 31st of May, and that is my day one, if you like, of recording. And yesterday I put down basically the bass parts for 2 of the songs. Now, how I'm approaching this is I'm putting down a very basic drum pattern, even if it's just a loop, you know, and I put that all the way through the song. So yeah, it sounds like a drum machine going boom tish, but that doesn't matter. I just need something to play against. And then what I've done is I've stuck down some bass, I've stuck down some rhythm guitar, and then I can think about writing some drum patterns that might fit. And then I add all the other instruments. And then after that, I'll listen to it. And I think, well, how are these drums? Do they work or they don't work? If they don't work, then I'll get the drummer in to do the drums properly. And then any other bits that I might want. Because I haven't yet decided if I'm going to have any kind of brass players or reed players or whatever on it. In a way, I might, but I did one track today, and this is going to be one of the tracks that comes at the end of the album, and it's one of 2 songs that's going to have some vocals on, and I've replaced some of the parts that would have been played on, you know, saxophone and trumpet or whatever, and I did it with guitar, and I kind of played the main melody on the guitar, and then I doubled it up, but then on the other guitar, I kind of arranged a harmony part, and I listened to it and I thought, this sounds very much 50% Mike Westbrook and 50% Matthew North here. If someone who didn't know Mike's work listened to it, they thought it might be something I made up. And if you played it to a Mike Westbrook fan, they'd listen to it and think it was a Mike Westbrook track that somebody else has, you know, messed around with, i.e. me. So that's kind of where I am with this project, and I'm gonna make a video diary of this as well, and the video diary I will put out when the album's ready. I may put the odd posting on my email list. If you're not a subscriber to my email list, if you go to my website, there's a thing on the front page, just put your email address in, hit go. And I might put the odd little update here and there just for people that subscribe to the email list. So if you do go and subscribe, then you know, you get to find out what's going on, and hopefully it'll be interesting. But that's where I am. I'm going to be making this album. There may well be less videos on the YouTube channel over the summer while I'm doing this. But I have started cracking on with it. I think there's going to be 8 tracks, and I've provisionally started on 6 of them, I think. 3 of them are kind of, the structure is all there, and the others I hope to have kind of my demos, if you like, most of them completed within about a week. And then I can start, you know, crafting them, embellishing them, writing the bits in or putting the bits in that I want. and then just basically seeing how it goes. I mean, it might be a total disaster. We just don't know. I mean, I might, it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you're doing somebody else's work and they're your very close friends, but Mike's given me his full blessing on this, so I'm just going to crack on with it and try and do it as honestly as I can in the way that I do it. So yeah, that's where we are anyway with this album. So I just thought I'd post this as an update, and if you do subscribe to my email address page thing, just go to matthewnorthmusic.co.uk or matthewnorth.com and sign up, and then you might get the odd bit here and there. But yeah, thanks for watching this. I'm sorry it's a little bit of a ramble, but I kind of just wanted to put it out there, what I'm going to be doing next in the world of my own music. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.